These backyard barbecue. Backyard barbecue music. That's how you come and do Sean, you sideways.
I'm trying to fix it.
I can't hear nothing you saying, ain't Lily. You on mute. I can't hear nothing you said. Looking just like your mama.
I can't hear anything.
We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Sorry. Did you guys good afternoon. Did you guys ask a question? I had to tap back in. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
We having technical difficulties right now.
Okay. Me too. I was like trying to figure it out, but I'm cool now.
One word, 2 syllables.
Wait. That's a hard one. Hold up.
Light up the stogie, give it to me like you owe me. Only in town for the night. Thumbs up, no, I'm trying to hit the ride. All this ass that I'm holding, I have checks closer than appearance. My girl trying to run interference, yeah. I just wanna let my head down. What you wanna do? I know you feel it too. We can really disappear.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, because Quincy be messing with stuff, so I had to call him to fix it.
He talking shit. But...
Anyways, all right, y'all, we back. I'm good now. Thank y'all for being on here with me. We will have one more, or actually 2 more people that'll join us a little later. But I'm gonna get started while I have you guys here with me. How y'all doing tonight?
Great.
Doing good. Busy.
It's Wednesday, so happy hump day to everybody. It's my first day off. I'm enjoying it. All right, so how I usually, how I did it last time, is I pose a topic and then I go to each person and you guys let me know how you guys feel about it. So the first one I'm going to start off with is going to be a topic about relationships. So I seen a video, actually of the rapper D Smoke from LA, and he was talking about relationships, and he said, uh, "Women were not taught how to love or treat men, but men were taught how to treat women." So he used the example as like as a whole, he was like, even with men who like cheat and stuff like that, generally they know like you're not supposed to like abuse women. You know, there's a certain way that you talk to women and a certain way that you should be loving on them. Because we always teach men like you're so this is how you're supposed to be with your man. But I mean with your woman. But he's saying that women weren't taught to love men. Like they were taught to how to receive love, what they're supposed to receive, but they weren't taught like how to love on a man. So what do you guys think about that? I'm gonna go with you first, Cliff.
I agree. I feel like I'm not gonna say all women because but I feel like the majority of women were taught to know what how look for qualities in a man, right? Look for him to be a provider, a protector, things as such, or him be financially well off, him be handsome or whatnot. But I don't think a lot of women were taught to actually truly love that man or appreciate that man. I know men, we were always taught that, oh, you open the door for a woman, you be chivalrous to a woman, you love a woman, you protect her. Those are things that are instilled with us, instilled into us. But I'm not a woman, but just from my experiences, I don't feel like a lot of women were taught to love a man or even know how to love a man. If you really want to get deep about it, I mean, I should, yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay. Sean, what you think?
I think it depends on the time. In today's society, maybe not much so, but that's because the role models that we have out there don't really show. Nowadays, children and women and young girls and children and are brought up through social media. So what they see through the TV, and parents aren't really available because a lot of parents have to work a lot of hours. And so they're usually raised by social media as a default. And our social media presence for a woman is not, majority of the time, is not a very good presence. It's a selfish type of presence. It's a reserved self. Man has to do this. Men have to take care of you. Men are for this. Men are for that. And so as a result, you get women who look for men for the wrong purposes in life. Um, and so we're left with just selfish women. Like, you either take care of me and then I'll be this to you, but never to see a man for who he is and truly what he can become and what he is as a human being. So I agree, but I assert it toward the time, because back in the day, I don't believe it was like that at all.
Okay, that's a really good point. What you think, Desire?
I have to. I agree. I agree with. Is it Chun?
Sean.
Chun. Chun. Sorry. Sorry. I have to agree a little bit, but my mom. I mean, how I was raised, and I know how society is now, but how I was raised, I just do by what I was taught, and it's really Bible basis. It's like it really doesn't matter. There's going to be times where I might not have a job and he might not have a job. And right now, society, it favors towards women. So it's like, you have to give and serve. I mean, you serve regardless. I'm going to come home, cook dinner, regardless of what he's doing or going on, unless if it's supporting the household. So I just, you know, I know a lot of people is if how they follow, if they want to follow and go towards that route as far as following everybody else and not. My mom was very independent, like she just very independent. So, but at the same time, there's a fault of that because the independency of us being very independent women, you feel like you don't need a man, and then that's scary because then it's like, okay, well, not scary, but some people are meant to be alone. So it's just, I don't know. I don't want to keep going on and on, but it's a give or take situation because I was just raised a lot differently. So I know I see a lot of people that do different. I don't agree with it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Can
I
I add
definitely
something?
agree with. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Sean kind of touched on it a little bit, and it kind of sparked something I thought about also when she said a lot of women, they associate love with, you know, once you do this for me or once you show me who you are, then I can love you. You know what I mean? Or then I
Right.
show you I love. And that's very true also. And I think on the flip note on that, on the man side, if we're speaking about today's day and age, I know a lot of men, we are now, hey, I'm a prize too. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I bring value to the table outside of what I can tangibly bring, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm worth this love also. You know what I'm saying? So I think that,
Yeah.
so yeah, on that time, that does make a difference also.
And that's those are really, really good points because I agree with all of them. And I feel like nothing is really cookie cutter because we all grew up differently. Some of us with single parents, some of us with both parents, but even some of us with both parents, you might have not seen healthy love. So it's like the era definitely that we're in is a lot of women that I know in their 30s and 40s is like, I'm not doing what my mama or my grandmama did and serving a man and he ain't taking care of me or he not providing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do my own thing, and if you match what I match, and we do what we do. And then on the other hand, like I grew up with my mom serving my dad. I grew up with my mom being a stay-at-home mom, but my dad allowed her to do that because he paid all the bills. So there were certain things that she did for him that a working mom wasn't going to do for her husband because they're both working and she tired too. So I got to, see both of it. I have an older sister, 12 years older than me, where I seen her in marriages where she was working too. So I seen the dynamic of stay-at-home mom and working mom. Plus, I have friends that have the same dynamics. So I feel like it definitely is how we teach them and in the era that we're in. But I want to think like outside of even that of the providing, a lot of women like nowadays, not all, I'm generalizing right now, but I know all women are not the same. That men's feelings don't matter. So, and you know what I'm saying? We don't try to like get to the like, how can I love you? Like, what makes you tick? What can I do to, fulfill like actually and make you feel like you can open up to me and be vulnerable? And I feel like we lose that art and that intimacy because we make everything about transactions. You know what I mean? You do
Mhm.
this for me, I do that for you. If you don't do that for me, then I'm going to withhold this from you. You know?
Yeah.
Little Quincy said, like, what do you mean as a man you should give 3,000 because do you even have $3? Quincy, what are you talking about? Hold on. Let me go up.
I mean, not
Get
to.
what you go
I
ahead.
just like I like I had a a comp well like friends
Hey
wise. There's
Chris,
just
not to cut you off,
Yeah,
sorry.
Sandy,
Welcome
like
to the conversation, Chris.
for sure. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I had a friend tell me one time that couple that when like their spouse had either lost their job or something was going on in the household because they couldn't provide, that they stopped giving them what is it, fellatio. And I was like, well, why does why does, not to like throw it off, I was like, I mean, if you guys are married, I'm like, I mean, why does that stop because you're upset because they're not a good place right now? Like that doesn't make sense to me. I was like, I don't think that that's not, it's very transactional, like you said. So I was just throwing that in there. Sorry.
It's like a form of punishment. Like
Yes.
because I'm down right now. You're not
Right.
gonna give me head. Like how does that even equate to each other?
Well, no,
Like
because
you know what I'm
it's like
saying? Like what?
they come home, they're overstressed, they're thinking about it, and I get it, but that doesn't mean that you lose your intimacy just because that's the part of marriage,
Right.
Damn, so
Nah,
I
yeah,
took
definitely.
to that interesting topic. I want to rewind. What's happening?
Sorry.
Yeah.
So Chris, the topic that I presented was D Smoke, the rapper, was doing an interview and he was saying that um generally women were not taught to how to love and treat men, but men were generally taught how to treat women, even though we know that a lot of men do cheat. Outside of that, he's saying, like, in a general sense, how to, like holding the door open for a woman, not abusing her, a certain way to talk to her, you know what I mean? A certain way to treat women. Boys are taught that from the beginning, versus women are not taught so much how to love men, but how to receive love from men.
See, I
And
mean,
so we all
that's
kind of talk on that.
yeah, I mean, I think for sure nobody really learns, especially in the black community, how to do it. You know what I mean? But I think that we pick up traits, you know what I'm saying, along the way, good and bad. But I don't really think nobody in the black community learns how to do it right until you're in it. Then you have to adjust to it. Yeah, but a lot of us don't have those.
Yeah.
Many of us don't have those role models or something like that to see, just because of broken homes that we grew up in and shit, and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's a good point too. You said nobody really knows until they're in it.
mhm.
And that's such a, I think, underrated thing, because, like, I'm gonna use me for example. Seeing two parents, and my dad never had kids outside my mom. He wasn't a cheater, he wasn't an abuser. Got up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, went to work every single day till he had open heart surgery when I was 10. So um like, never seen them be like toxic towards each other. But in saying that, when I got into my own marriage, experiencing how to give unconditional love, how to give love even when I don't want to, even when I'm mad at you, even when I feel like you don't deserve it,
Mhm.
that was tough. You know what I mean? Learning how to love on him despite his flaws and things he's went through that I can't help heal him from, and he just got to go through on his own, and I got to just stand there and be with him. Like, those things, man. Like, you know what I mean? The details. I always say it's the details and that makes the big picture.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, like, it's just, even with watching it, it's hard until you are actually. I mean, it seems easy until you're actually in it.
Right, right, right.
I'm gonna hit these comments real quick. Big Quincy said, "These niggas with the glasses on talk don't talk like this in real life."
You a
Shut
lie.
up.
You a lie.
A line and a half.
Little Quincy said, to be honest, people make it only give for men and only take for women. So, social media puts the what you should do. Yes, there's things a gender should do, but now it's as a man or as a woman for anything, right? Yeah, because everything does. I mean, men can cook and clean just like women can go to work. So yeah, there's things that it's not just gender specific anymore. Kayla said, today is about what you can provide financially and not emotionally. Morals are screwed for the younger generations. Man, I do feel bad for the younger generations because it's just getting worse and worse. Quincy Senior said, my mom's hated my dad with good reason, though. He said, Chris was good, my nigga, long time no see. Quincy said they
Who
have
said
songs
that? Who
about
said
it.
that?
Big Quincy Senior, Quincy Jones Senior.
Oh, Quincy, Quincy, what's my man? That's my man. Yeah, that's my man. So what's happening?
He said they have songs about it. Broke boys don't deserve no pussy. So I mean, this is the thing about that. I want to just detour real quick to that comment. Me and Quincy was riding. Big Quincy was riding in the car the other day, and he was asking me about coffee because I'm on a coffee kick right now. And he was asking me how much it was going to be. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, like $4 or something. And he was like, I don't know if I could do it. I said, now, see, if we was like on a first date, I would have friend zoned you. Because if you can't afford $4 and some change for a coffee and you trying to date me, you don't need to date. So, and like that aspect, if you can't afford like $10 to take me out, you need to focus on getting your money up first. And then, what do you guys think about that?
Do
Do
you
you
got
think that people
$10 to
should
buy you some coffee?
Okay.
what?
Okay. I'm
I
kind of.
mean, okay, so I mean, here's the thing. So, like, if we go speak honestly, there are a lot of standards that, and again, not all women, but majority of women, they hold men to, but they don't even come with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you want me to have this, you want me to have that, but you don't got it.
Straight
So
up.
how can you expect me to? I mean, look, look. I know. Again, I'm a man. I know my value. And I know my worth. Right.
Mm,
Right. And I know where I come from. I know where I've been. I know where I'm at. You feel me? So like I look at relationships as a partnership.
mm, mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we I don't we in it together. You feel me? Like we partners in this. We pulling each other up. You know what I'm saying? And, until we get there. And I don't want to be. I'm gonna be the head of my relationship, but I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, I got all the money and I hold all the power because I have the money, and vice versa. You feel me? And that's
Right.
what I think a lot of
Yeah.
that's why I think a lot of relationships are. A lot of relationships are based on financial who's financially more capable because now you get to make all the decisions and shit like that. And I don't believe in that. I think
Yeah.
that's
I
that's
think
one of those old gender role type shit, and I don't believe in that.
it's a difference between being able to afford it or wanting to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if you really can't afford it, then yeah, you need to focus on yourself. If you don't want to do it though, then that's a different story. You see what I'm saying? I think that's fair game. If you can't afford it though, then yeah, you don't need to be in the dating game though for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't afford it, then sit your ass down.
Good job.
But
That's it. So just be honest with yourself, like, or be honest with her, like, I just don't
That's
want to.
what
I
I
got it.
feel.
I can do it 4 times over, you know?
And I not to a point to where like, oh, you have to make a certain amount of a year or be able to take somebody out on $500 dates or $1,000 dates, but I'm saying like simple things like taking somebody for coffee. And I'm not talking because my husband not being able to afford something while we've been in a relationship for a long time is different from when I'm just meeting you. You just asked me out on a date and we going on a coffee date and you can't
She
afford, you ain't got $10 for the coffee date.
right.
I need you
No,
to
she.
wait just a little bit longer. If it's meant to be, it's gonna be. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying you gotta do something, I mean, have a bunch of money, but just certain things. That means that you're gonna be struggling. And then also for me, I guess it would be like, are you have you not had a job for a bunch of years and you're just a lazy person? Or are
Oh,
you actually like in between jobs? Maybe you just got a new job, you catching up on bills. That's something different.
Or
You know
you're
what I
an
mean?
entrepreneur.
But
You could be an entrepreneur, ain't nothing wrong with them
yeah,
either.
that's entrepreneurs.
I mean,
Woo.
then again, there'll be a lot of cats that shoot themselves in the foot too. Like when you meet a girl or a woman for the first time, they want to take her out to this nice fancy restaurant and
Yeah,
shit like that. Like man, you shot yourself in the foot. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because now you've created this starting point and expectation. You feel me? And you may not be able to keep that up. You just did that to impress, but
what about the
that's not
ones
gonna
that
be
get
every
the
day.
cars for the weekend? What about the ones that be getting the cars for the weekend? And
You like
then
they
Yeah.
like they rent a car?
oh my
Wait. You said like they rent a car for the weekend?
Yeah, rent a car for the
yes.
weekend.
Ah, you sorry. I mean, because you lying to yourself. That's when you're lying to yourself. You
Right.
didn't do that good when you lied to yourself. You
Right.
know.
And it's
Mm-mm.
a facade. Like we don't talk about how people, because men and women do that. They put up a facade a lot of times the first couple of years of being with somebody. I was talking to a woman and she's in her 60s. And she was telling me about her ex-husband and how like 5 years into them being married, he just decided he pulled her to the side and was like, I just want to tell you the truth. I just want to be free and tell you who I really am. She said, wait a minute, we've been married for 5 years. Who are you right now? Like, who have you been?
Right.
He
And
took the
so,
mask
yeah,
off.
like,
He took the mask off 5 years in. Like, you just farted. You just showed her you can fart in front of her nigga. Like,
She don't even know her real name. She knew about her nickname the whole time. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Her middle name and shit.
Like my lady always say, "What's my middle name?" You know
It's
my middle
even
name.
it's even scary though sometimes. Like even the older ones
I can't hear him.
he was cutting in and out.
single who want to get married because like and they left money to their kids. Now you got to be careful. Yeah. Oh, do you hear me?
I can hear you now.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I forgot where I was. Oh, I was just saying it's nowadays if they are single and they're older, they are afraid to date because if they happen to get Alzheimer's or if they happen to get some type of disease, there's money that's been kept for their kids, and now they have to be careful because people are. It's just a lot going on with just that. You know, there's a lot of that going on, which is interesting. I'm like, people when it comes to when people do get older, if they it's hard being single, being by themselves, but at the same time, it's like they want somebody. Because my mom's dealing with that right now, but she does not want to get married because she's just so afraid. So it's just interesting. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. That's why you're here. Lil Quincy said, basically what Cliff is saying, how you call me broke when you're homeless. Strawberry Ari, I see you on YouTube. She said she in it. Big Quincy said, "Speak, Cliff. She rode the bus here, but expects me to be in a BMW. Like you needed 2 transfers to get here."
And you know it's the 28th, and you know you got to renew in 2 more days because your monthly pass about to expire. So stop.
Welcome, Quentin. He said, Quentin Evans said, if we both broke, we the baby enjoy this value meal and good combo and grow with me. Well, yeah,
Right.
if we both broke,
Right.
Humble
because
beginnings.
this
Humble beginnings.
together at ground zero. Big Quincy says she probably grew up on free lunch. What he always saying that. Be 2 for 2. I'm sorry,
Hey,
2 for
don't be
25.
knocking the free lunch.
Yeah.
Hey, but the Applebee's 2 for $25 though used to go down back in the day. Now it's like 2 for like $35 or something. But the 2 for $25 though used to really be a lit spot though at one point in time. You know, especially like college days, it was a spot.
Applebee's.
And then free lunch, man. They've taken that back for a lot of people. My son is still able to get free lunch, but there's a lot of states and a lot of cities that they're charging people now for their kids to eat. So, and a lot of kids,
sorry.
Yeah, that's what a lot of kids, they only have breakfast and lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, COVID exposed that a lot of kids were only eating at school.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So let me go into this next topic, unless anybody else have anything to say about the topic about men being taught how to love and women not. No?
Oh,
right. So I actually have a video, and I have 2 videos, but I'm not sure if I want to play the little white girl video, although it was a really good breakdown. But the topic is about the wealth gap. So this is more political government topic, and the racial wealth gap between white people and black people. Are you guys aware that there's a huge wealth gap? Meaning,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So before I play the video, what do you guys feel like contributed to the big wealth gap?
There's not just one factor. I mean, there's multiple factors, but I mean, just
yeah.
Government. One, redlining, number 1. Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 2. Racism, number 3. Defense of a human, number 4. Us being property, number 5. I mean, there's you can go down a list of reasons why. there's a wealth gap for sure.
Yeah. And a lot of people, especially Black people, don't understand that. Like, if you never had African American history, like outside of high school, where you never went to a HBCU, you never had like a mentor that was kind of like, pro-Black, or anything like that. A lot of Black people don't understand that, and they will like side with non-Black people and be like, yeah, if you guys would just save your money, or if you guys would get married, and have an actual family, or if you
That's
guys
surface
would,
level. That's
do this
surface
and
level
that.
talk. That's surface level because I
Right.
mean, you have to understand where like you have to understand where all that stems from. You feel me? Like it goes like the roots are so deep in that to just say, oh, if you would do this, if you would do that. But there's so many obstacles that are put into place just for Black African Americans. I'm not even.
What?
It's
Go
just
off.
I mean, because I mean, when I think about this topic, like all these thoughts come to my head, right? Like just if floods were just everything that just being a Black man and understanding where we come from, the government we abide by, to our ancestors, the shit that still goes on in today's day and age. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. It's really a lot, and it gets frustrating. It really does get frustrating because when you hear people say, "Oh, if y'all would just stop killing each other," well, nigga, if you would allow us to be in places where we can thrive at and not put us in this environment where we have to feel like we're against each other, or where you keep pumping the drugs into our
Right.
neighborhoods, or when you make it where motherfuckers just can where you paying motherfuckers off to be snitches and do callous shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, let's just it's deep. It's deep.
All right. Let me play this video and then we're gonna hop back into it. And it's like 1 minute and a half, and he's breaking down why notions that they say we should just do to be able to fix the racial gap.
Does marriage close the racial wealth gap for Black Americans?
Apparently not. We know now that the average white family, that's a single parent family, has about 2 times the wealth of the average Black family that has 2 parents.
So cross that off.
Yeah.
Does going to college close the racial wealth gap for Black Americans?
Well, I'm definitely a fan of going to college, but it
As
doesn't
am I.
close the racial wealth gap. A Black head of household with a college degree has 2/3 of the net worth of a white head of household who never finished high school.
Cross that off.
Yeah.
What about savings? Black people should just stop buying Jordans and save their money. And if they did that, if they saved all their money and were better savers, they could close the racial wealth gap.
Right. So if Black people weren't so attracted to bling, we'd eliminate the racial wealth gap. Well, the evidence suggests that that's not true either. If anything, if we were to take into account the income of the household, Black households save as much as white households. And in fact, in some income categories, Black households actually have a higher savings rate than white households.
So if the actual facts don't back up this notion that Black people just need to change our behavior and we could eliminate the wealth gap between Black and white Americans, why are these myths so persistent?
Well, I think part of it is ignorance. I think that people have misperceptions about a number of things, and some of these misperceptions are about American history.
All right,
Man, that's kind
y'all.
of deep.
I know
That's
that was a
kind
lot.
of deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I don't know your background, Chris, but I'm gonna go with Sean, because I know that she is highly educated. And Sean, if you want to let us know what your career is.
Oh my God. I'm a nurse.
Don't just say it like that.
I'm a nurse.
Okay. We'll just leave it at that. She's the nurse. But what do you? I'm gonna go with you first. What do you feel about hearing that, and what do you feel about like racial wealth gap? What do you think that like Black people we have a fair chance to be able to make high earning income?
Everybody hates me when I speak on this subject, but they do. They do. Um, I am a person, I'm only saying it because I live in both sides. I did grow up in poverty, of course. Not of course, but I did grow up in poverty. I am Black. I am a part of every Black racial thing that has been done. But I also now, I didn't get handouts, by the way. I fought my way through education. I did what I needed to do. Although I didn't start off good, I started off bad, a teenage mom. But I fought my way through the obstacles and I got to where I am now. So I'm at a different tax bracket and I work around different people. And as I do that, I kind of look back because I still socialize in a lower class. Of course, class doesn't make me, so I still have friends. But I look at the things in the community that I grew up with, and I look at the things in the community where I live. And I do believe history of Black people has some effect. I will not take that from you. A history has a stamp on you. But I also believe that present day effort has an effect. And I look around and I see so many, because, Black people aren't the only race that have been through anything. There's a lot of races that have been through stuff. But somehow these races manage to, I don't know, pull together and do certain things, or not even if it's together. Mexicans across the border came from nothing. They didn't took over Charterway in Stockton. It is baby Mexico, but they have all of their businesses together. And here I noticed that, and I'm not speaking on gossip. I saw a lot of people that I know personally get PPP loans in the COVID. And I don't see not one Black business come out of that. I saw a lot of cars that got repoed after a while. I saw a lot of everybody was finessed. They was dressed head to toe. But I never saw one person come together with another Black person and create a Black business. And that's where I think the generational wealth is, because maybe we're not used to having a lot of money. I get that. But when we get the money, what do we do with it? That's the difference. So I think it does have something to do with history, but it also has something to do with present day effort. There's no effort and not all Black people, but a lot of Black people today to make generational wealth. There is no effort. And so I think that's why the gap is significant.
Okay.
Can I chime
Anybody
in?
want to respond? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So not a response. So I'll tell you my background. I have I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from University Pacific. So I'm on both sides of the fence as well. You know what I mean? And so I still see it. Growing up where I grew up, right? You know what I'm saying? We struggled as well too, right? And so right now I'm not struggling as much, but I had different blessings in life. And so when he said that about the Jordans, right, that kind of triggered me, because although it won't stop the wealth gap holistically, right, it will at least contribute toward your personal financial situation, right? Even Jay-Z spoke about it. If you can't buy it twice, you don't need to buy it. You see what I'm saying? And so if you can barely find a pair of those 13s when they come out, then you need to have 150, then you need to have 300 to buy it twice. If you can't, then you really can't afford it. But we're so caught up in this notion of wanting to please, right, others. We hinder ourselves in that area. Now, will that be the only factor to contribute to the wealth gap? Fuck no. But that would be a solution to solving your personal financial gap. And once you solve your personal, then each one could teach one. You could build from there. That's how I think the game should be played, based off what he said in that video.
Amen.
Okay.
That's right.
Did you want to say anything on a desire before I get to Cliff?
No, I agree. It's trouble. It's like when you hear it, your stomach, like it's like God, because I had a brother that went to Cal Poly, and I mean, I could have done a lot more, but I guess it's because how I was raised, I was the last one, so got, I was very, I did. There was a lot of other areas that later on, it's like even when you grow up that way, now you take it for granted. So I had to, at an early age, learn the very hard way, and but I still went. I went to college, and but my mom, when I got older, I was surprised. Because she was really like a stickler about like, you need to go to university, you need to do more, and I could have done more when I look at it now. I mean, I'm very blessed and very happy. I have a very good job, but I could have done more. But it's stomaching because you see a lot of these kids out here. Some of them, they have so much support, and they're not really doing anything. Like they're not doing anything, and it's like, well, like a decade ago, it's like we were like, at least majority of us went to college. You probably heard maybe one person that didn't graduate, but at least majority of us graduated and try to go. Now it's like it's so easy. So I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard to hear, and you try to do better. And I agree with what she said, and what well, with all of you. So that's all.
I got you. Before we get to you, Cliff, I'm gonna knock these comments out real quick. Little Quincy said, "Thing is, how do you save if you need things that go up in cost? It's easy to talk from the side." So the sidelines being people who have more money. Little Quincy said, Big Quincy said, "How the fuck I would save my money and eggs are 78 for a dozen? They're not 78, but I get your point." Little Quincy said, even getting healthy foods are 3 times as more than junk food. And that is true. I do complain about I can't even buy the more healthier foods I want all the time because they accumulate, especially if it's a family. If it's just you or you and one other person, that's different. If you got 4 or more people, it adds up. Um, he said it's like saying if you're in a wheelchair, get up, just get up and walk. Like I'm finna give you a standing ovation if you keep playing. Shut up, Quincy. Big Quincy said, "You see them glasses? She's smart as fuck."
Okay.
First of all, are y'all wearing glasses, Quincy? Because
No.
you wearing contacts. Quentin Evans said, haha, she got on the PhD frames. Now you got everybody in the comments hating jokes. He said, Black people put value into the wrong shit. Quentin Evans said, majority of Black society start behind the ball being in debt before we turn 18. So when we do get money, we stuck in the wheel of buying Jordans for the quick satisfaction of knowing we never had money.
We're not stuck. We choose.
We do choose. Quincy said, Black people are willing to look good but never do good. And that's very true. And it's also taught. I mean, I know that we can always grow out of what we are taught, but statistics show us that the majority of people on your psyche and how you were raised and what you were conditioned on, because we were all conditioned if you live in America. So to be able to come out of that conditioning and say, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to live in poverty. So how can I do better? And then we know that people who have a supportive system is an even smaller percentage. Because even if you have a lot of family or friends, if they're not on your level mentally, they're not going to support you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to want you to do better than them. So although, like, I feel like America that are non-Black, they a lot of times use people who are a small percentage of a big problem. Like, oh, well, Michael Jordan, became something. Oh, well, we had a Black president, he was educated, and you see his wife, you know what I'm saying, is a lawyer. It's like, those are a small percentage of what actually happens. The majority of America is working class. And eventually working class is going to be just poor because of the wealth gap. So either you're going to be rich or you're going to be poor. There is not going to be any middle class anymore. So, and they did that on purpose, So I feel like it's both. I feel like you can pull yourself up and make a change in your life financially and for your kids, but definitely it's way, way harder because you, as an African American, we are set back from the beginning, like Quentin said, from generations of when we were slaves and they had there were homeowners. From even when we were serving in the wars, and when Black men got out of it, they didn't get GI Bills. They didn't qualify for it to be able to get houses because they were Black. So it's I feel two ways about it. I feel like you can do better, but I do see how we are super held back. So this next one, which is probably going to be my last one, because I don't want to go into 2 hours, but I want to do like maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Is
wait. Can I say something real quick? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm totally sorry. Please go ahead. You got it.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
You don't know about no wealth, nigga. That's what she's
right. I don't know nothing about wealth. You're right. All I know is what I read about.
That's different, brother. She said you don't know about no wealth, nigga.
I mean, so
right now.
But the topic was
Camille's Soul. So,
the topic was about narrowing the gap, right, between Black and white America wealth. That was a question, right? And I feel like right now, like, okay, all 5 of us on this panel, we're having this conversation, but our parents, I guarantee, probably didn't have this conversation. They probably didn't have people to talk about these things with financial literacy and understanding economics and understanding, politics and growth and whatnot. You feel me? So these are things that we are probably going to instill in our children. I know for myself, I have older children, so I'm definitely speaking on these type of topics with them.
Yeah.
But I didn't have parents, I didn't have grandparents that did that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know probably a lot of us, we've seen that study on social media where they have the white people and the Black people, and the white people always have a head start in this race. You get what I'm saying? Like, right. But that's true. They already have this in the race of life. They have a head start that we haven't had, and it just goes back to like generations. You know what I'm saying? Because we were brought here in slavery and whatnot. But if we're speaking about pulling up our own bootstraps, that's something different. That's a whole different conversation. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. In comparison to just being a Black person versus a white person, and as far as closing that gap, that's a different conversation than us doing better as Black people. Because you turn on TV, you turn on the radio, you have all these billionaires, and ain't no one teaching about how they got there.
Right.
No one's educating
a lot of money.
Right. No one's educating on how to manage money.
But
no one's. All you see is these baddies, baddies, you know what I'm saying? XYZ, Real Housewives.
That's just the TV you choose.
No, I'm saying, but this is what
I saw her trying to hold back for a long time. She had to get that out.
But this is what is guided to our youth. These things are put to our children. These things are being put to Black people. They say, "Hey, watch this. Hey, this is what you like." People like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit
because they choose to like the bullshit. I don't watch reality here, and we have Marcus Burney. He's from, now I don't know what he do in his everyday life, but he always puts on Facebook and social media. He tries to give classes on how to teach to where he got his wealth. Now, I don't know how he got his wealth. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know. I'm not saying that, but I always see him put out classes for him to teach people how to do it. Now, I've only seen a few sign up for those classes. Now, how many posts have I seen about all the other stuff, whether you're not reposting their family getting in fights or next fights, or he puts that out there. So it's what people choose to watch. You don't have to watch that, and it attracts us. You have to control what your children watch. If you let them watch that, you can't control everything, but you need to put the narrative in your life. Can't nobody make you do something.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing
I
with that at all.
agree.
But what I
I
am
was
saying is that what's catered to us,
There's no
what
catering. You
oh, it
choose what you
definitely
like.
is. It definitely okay. So let's look at the generations, right? Let's look at the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and going on, right? When you looked at TV, I'm just saying TV. I'm just saying let's take TV as an example.
I mean, that's already a
Okay,
problem, though, right? Because television program, not a program in your mind. So
this is my
why are
point.
you putting that into the? You see what I'm saying? If you're depending on TV to teach you anything, then you're already starting off wrong. So even as a parent of two-year-old, 4-year-old, I'm not fucking having TV teach them about life.
But
Like
did you know that in the
that's fucking
60s
crazy.
when TV was introduced?
It was programming. It's still programming, though. That's like why depend the radio is still it's not nobody else's job to teach your kids what the fuck they need to learn.
but
Right. No,
Well,
I'm not saying that, but the conversation that we're having is a hindsight conversation. You
so
get what I'm
no,
saying?
well, yeah, but when I say what I said though too, I said well, stop by importance. So that's not hindsight. That's today. You see what I'm
They
saying?
don't have just black TV and white TV. They have TV.
They have
So the
TV.
same thing that the black people see, the white people see. You just choose what you want to watch.
So what I'm saying is this. What my point was this when I was speaking about the generations, right? As far as when it comes, like, just say TV. When in the 60s, when before TV was introduced, the black family was more of a black family, was more of a unit. There was men in the household, right? Statistically, when TV got introduced, and I'm not just blaming it all on TV before I say this, but when certain things, because somebody gonna say that, when certain things got introduced and we as black people were able to obtain those things, right? Our unit changed. How we revolved as a people became different, right? For instance, black women being natural and having their naturals and having their natural hair and wearing their afros, right? It was beautiful. But then when we start seeing all these white women on TV, and then it being glorified as far as this is the object and this is what beauty is, right? The concept of what beauty changed within us. And what I mean by that is that also plays part into when we talk about us growing as black people, right? Yes, our parents didn't understand that at that time. Our family didn't understand what was happening at that time. But yes, we are here having this conversation. So I would say, for instance, like, let's say maybe 30, 40 years down the line, like different generations, our children may be able to close that gap. But if we're talking about right now, I don't see it happen because we're only what 40, 50 years away from having actual rights as people. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah, I know the 60s is when
You see
we
what I'm saying?
actually started to get civil rights. But I want to speak to what Cliff is saying because I understand what he's trying to say as far as television goes. When we had I Love Lucy, they didn't even sleep in the same bed.
mm,
So the dynamics of how things were even looked at versus now we see sex and people making out and having real sex and it's not Cinemax, it's not HBO. You know what I mean? So like how what was presented to us because although we can choose, like Sean said, we can choose what we want to watch. We can choose what our children watch. What is being put out and has always been put out in media to shape people, and then we're talking about America's minds on what family looks like. Who's the bad guy? Who's the hero? You know what I'm saying? How children should be raised. Like, you know what I'm saying? What is, like he said, what is beauty? What is the best so-called music? That's why we have music awards.
Black family
So,
shows you
like,
see on TV now.
yeah, it is shaped. Although we have people who don't watch reality. I don't watch reality show. Did I start back then when it was on MTV and Real World for the very first time came out? Yeah. Do I do it now? No, because my mind and my maturity is somewhere else. Some people, they're highly educated, and that's how they get their drama. They go watch that because they don't have drama in their life, and they have a more conservative life. So, but it's what you take in from it and say, I want to be like this. And we don't like to admit it, but as a society, not even talking about race, most people are weak-minded. So what they see, they a lot of times try to imitate instead of being who they are and making their own way and moving in a mature way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the era that we're in. And so it's harder. You're going to see we see fewer people actually being stand-up people and being mature than we do. And I mean, on TV, I should say, on TV, on social media, not in real life. Because a lot of people who are doing what they're supposed to be doing and not into that, they don't even be on social media, but they're also not shown. If that makes sense. Am I making sense? No?
That makes sense. I gotta go in a few minutes. I gotta finish this grant, but that makes sense. But I still think it's an excuse, right? Because if you want to learn, you just get on YouTube and learn, right? They have financial classes on YouTube, right? So you don't have to even consume these type of if you don't want to, right? You can be part of financial groups on Facebook. You see what I'm saying? So it's the algorithm. So if you wanted to do it, you could. So I get what you're saying, but I think that's just a lackluster excuse though, as well too, though.
I feel it. Welcome, 50 Capone, to the where you sleep.
Get the back door. Don't tell nobody.
You came in on our second topic talking about
my bad. I'm late, y'all. Sorry for my tardiness. I ain't gonna lie, I was knocked the hell out.
I figured you was.
Come on.
We're talking about racial wealth gap in between Black people and white people. And so we're talking about how we can narrow that down. We're talking about how we got there and then how we could actually narrow that down for us to be able to start making as much as, closer and generational wealth for Black people.
I think when it comes to that wealth gap, it's the parents have to actually have a mindset to see that there is a wealth gap and understand that they have to fix it. A lot of parents don't set up their children for the next step, the next phase. They kind of just fade away from earth without leaving their children prepared to take over anything. You know what I mean? The other generations go from one house to two house to three house or a business or so on and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? Our race and a couple others, we hand over bills, funeral costs, and a lot of grief. You know, if there's anything left over, the children, the people, they fight over it. You know what I'm saying? There were no preparations made like, hey, this is what's going to happen in the event of my demise. This is how the estate is to be ran. There really isn't an estate set up. You know, we kind of go from children to adults in a jump, and there's no cushion in between there. There's no preparation for the financial world. There's no preparation for the real world. There's no real direction as to how to gain funds. It's kind of you 18, get a job, figure it out. You know, we got to start being more active in the actual adult preparation of our children so that they can have something to work with, whether we leave them anything monetary or we just leave them with the knowledge to do better than we did because we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our parents didn't know better, so we're doing better now. You know, I know a lot better, so my children are doing better now. But me personally, I make preparations to actually leave them things behind. I'm trying to build a legacy, as you know. I'm trying to make sure I have a good foundation, good resume to leave behind for my children to say. But I think that's something we all should be striving for.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all of that. We gotta, do better. If our parents didn't do it for us, or if they were only able to just provide and not leave us with something, then we have to, we do have to take that initiative. So I agree with Sean. I agree with Chris on that. Like, about the individual for you and yours. You know what I'm saying? Making the better choices. But at the same time, I can't dismiss how we even got into this position. You know what I'm saying?
Never forget.
And then I know you've talked about it on Real Blunt 50 about, when we are kept to be busy, kept to be worker bees, It's
Mhm.
hard to think outside of the box or to be creative or to build outside of your 9 to 5.
Right.
Not even talking about people who work 12-hour days.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And then you've already started a family. So now you're in your 30s or 40s and you're trying to go back to school and you're going to work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're a parent.
Was saying
So
too.
it's a, you know what I mean? Versus like Cliff said, how other races set their kids up as they're in school, K through 12. They're setting them up. They're teaching them that this is what you do when you get out of high school. We're going to teach you financial literacy. Some other races take their kids to work so they can watch them be, you know what I'm saying, who they are in their element.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't do that, because if I take my kids to work, they gonna look at me funny and I'll be fired. So, it's just like, and I know we have to pick our hard, choose our hard. So I don't know. I'm in between. That's why I keep teetering and tottering. But
Well,
I
I think
understand
it's a
both.
subject that is too widespread to just like be completely convicted on one side, because there's a lot of disparities, a lot of interference that happened with our community in general that set us in this motion, that put us on this path. So there's people out there that are skin folk that will sit there and say, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, you're that's an excuse, this, that, and the third. But the reality of the matter is, it's not an excuse. It's a valid fucking reason why we're in this situation, and you'll be a fool to ignore the fact that it is. That's basically like saying, what do they call that when you get used to the abuser, or you start to sympathize with your abuser, the one who did you wrong?
It is a word for that, but I
It's
can't
a
think of
word
it.
for it. And I feel like people who say, oh, the things that were set in motion against our community is, you're using it as a scapegoat. And I think they suffer from that syndrome right there. Like, you sympathize with the people who put us in this position, and you almost are catering to their bullshit by saying that. Like, you don't want to acknowledge the fact that we had Jim Crow. You don't want to acknowledge the fact that they destroyed our communities, our
We
prosperous.
had, it's not that. We did have Jim Crow, but you didn't have Jim Crow. So we get it's done. That has been done. But how long do you use that narrative before you actually change or do something about it? Jim Crow has been done. Yes.
I
You
don't think
haven't had Jim Crow.
but
We haven't been in slavery. So at what point do you say, yes, this did happen, but what are we? You can't keep carrying it. At some point, you have to drop it, because if you keep carrying it, you'll never get to where you need to go. So at what point do you drop it?
I feel like it's not a something that you carry. It's just an acknowledge. You can't.
Why do you have to keep acknowledging the bad?
Because it happened.
In order to fix the problem, you have to know where the problem started.
To acknowledge where.
But we do know. We know.
Yeah.
We've known for 360. We've known. So at what point do you just fix it? Why do you have to keep? Yes, they put drugs into our neighborhoods, but they weren't selling on the corner, sitting on the corner selling it. We was. So at what point do we take our own initiative and be like, hey, you did this to us, but let's move forward? We're not the only race that was enslaved. At what point?
When do we stop buying all those Jordans, though? Too though. Yes, on that. But when do you stop buying all those Jordans and not put that like in a stop?
At what point do we stop?
I don't think there's a point where you, like me personally, I don't use it as something to, like, oh, this happened, so this is why I'm this way.
It's not an excuse.
I know this system exists because of all of these factors. I know that we are not on the same playing field because of all of these factors. So everybody in my position, there's a lot of me, has to work 10 times, 12 times harder than anybody else does to get even a close to a fair shake. We have to acknowledge it so that our children know. We have to be able to tell our children the past so they can know who the enemy is. If we act like we don't have an enemy still to this day, then they won.
But that's the point. Black people, the one consistent thing in the Black community is God. Nowhere does God preach that is our enemy. So why are we making that the scenario? The white man? No, that's not what we're taught. We always resort to
He's not our enemy.
religious and God. I am wholeheartedly God. So why do we switch up when it comes to slavery? Oh, now that's the enemy and this is that. No. At what point do you move forward? What point do you stop?
I
So
agree.
I
Can I say
know.
something
I
real quick?
with her, and
Can I
I
say
just,
something real quick?
if we're talking about
It's
wealth, I just want to ask, because my perception is we all have to pay taxes. I know some of us pay regardless. Like, I just found out I owe $12,000 taxes, and I don't have no kids, just because I'm single and I'm in
Right.
California. Like, girl, I had
wow.
no idea they did an audit. Okay, but I'm just gonna. Well, for me, as growing up, I would expect. I don't want. My mom took me to Payless, and my mom was your witness, so I had to go door to door witnessing. I didn't have to. And then when I went to high school, when I went to high school in Stockton, I went to Bear Creek, which is crazy because that's when I started figuring out. I was like, how come everybody, and my mom, like, I had my own bedroom. I didn't understand. I was going on trips but my mom always kept me in different, just we went to, you go to Ross, you go to Dee Dee's, you're not going to the big places. But then when I went to
Right.
high school, I'm like, this is my first time actually seeing our own kids go to the mall, get their shoes, and then come to school and wear them for one day and then take them back to go trade them. I said, why? I said, for what? Just to look a certain way.
Just
I
for
never
what?
did that. And I thought that, am I tripping? I
Crazy.
think just because off the fact of now you're in school and the kids have to look a certain type of way. Now when I got older, I maybe bought me a couple of shoes, but I was never a stickler back then to where it was just so, it had to happen. Like, all the kids were at the mall at the end of the day. Oh yeah, we're trading our shoes, because they had to keep the look of what it was.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, well, I must
So
look, I was like, shit, I
They
must
got
look.
to
yeah,
keep up with
Yeah,
everybody. They got to make sure they in with the new fads and the
yeah,
new trends and
yes,
styles.
Mhm.
yes.
right.
And I
But
just like,
wait, I want to.
you think you want
I
to go
want.
on I think it's hard. I like, I understand you work 9 to 5. I think everybody has to take a vacation after a while. You can't just work just to work, just to work. You have to have time. That's how you keep going. You have to have that spiritual time. You have to take a break. You do need to take a break from social media. But as far as wealth is concerned, I mean, I feel like half the shit that we learned in fucking high school wasn't shit. Y'all should have taught me how to save more. Y'all should have taught me about stocks and bonds. Y'all should have taught me about shit that actually I could have sat there
Yeah,
and used.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. I think our
I agree.
priorities were screwed up growing up. You know,
Yeah.
our I can't speak for everybody, parents. My mother had and still does, and I love her for it, but she has an issue with over giving, you know, she or overcompensating, I could say. What she didn't have, she gives in abundance because
Yeah,
she didn't have, you know what I'm saying? And because she didn't have, that means me and my sisters grew up with everything that we could possibly think of. You know what I mean? Um, but she didn't emphasize how to make the money, how to save the money, how to grow it, and all the other things that we now as adults we know that is important. It was times I was going to school with $300-400 in high school in my pocket all the time, just all the time. That was a norm for me. I didn't grow
Yeah,
up.
that must be nice. You know what I'm saying? I like that. That's
I'm
That'd
gonna
be
be honest.
nice.
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
was just
I grew up 2-story house, swimming pool, all that. I was kind of a privileged kid, but I'm from LA, so I was still in the gangs because that's what I lived in, the gang culture. You know what I mean? But it was a point where my mom, she just did not. We were always with money, and so it was in abundance, and my allowance was very good. I would always save my
yeah,
money. My sister would always save her money. And it was to the point where I was really just going to school with $200-300-400 in my pocket just because, and I was buying everybody lunch. But I was never taught why I should be saving money. I always think to myself, man, if I had saved that money that I had in high school and put it in some kind
I
of a fucking bond or put it in some. If I had known or had somebody tell me, take this money and go just put it in the savings account and fucking leave it until you're 30 years old. Don't ever touch it. You know, that would have, although a savings account is basic savings and you get basic residuals from it, it still would have fucking accumulated something. But I didn't know.
Right.
But I teach my kids now because I didn't know and I do know now. You know, it's just a matter of you learning and doing better than what you were taught.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
appreciate the conversation. I gotta log off, y'all, because I gotta finish this work. But yeah, I appreciate the
All
conversation.
right. Thank you, Chris, for coming through.
Thank you, brother.
Sure.
I know I have to go to.
I wanted to say something real quick to speak to what Sean was saying about moving forward. And I do agree that we should move forward and be better. However, like Cliff was saying, you have to know why and how America is the way they are right now, and that it still affects us to this day. Nothing that happened then. People try to use the like 300 years ago of slavery, but they don't talk about that we were even when we were free, we didn't have rights. The whole reason we had civil rights movement in the 60s. For us to even have the whole reason why we had DEI and affirmative action is because they were not hiring us. And when they did hire us, they did not pay us what our counterpart that was white was being paid. So when you have that, and that just happened in the 60s. My parents were born in the 50s. So they were born into something they weren't even having civil rights. So that's just one generation removed from me. And so from that to they still have black laws for the police department, meaning that they're still stopping and searching and doing illegal things to Black Americans. And they're able to do it because it's written into the law. That they can, that's why they're able to get around it and have loopholes. Our education system, when they for poorer neighborhoods, they have poor education, it's still going on. So when we're talking about what happened before, it's still, these things are still implemented in the things that we do today in all of the 50 states. And so to say that every single family, every Black family should be like, they don't have the benefits of every single person being able to go out and get a job or build a business. Even till this day, there's still redlining where Black people can't buy in certain neighborhoods. There's still jobs that they can't get. There's a ceiling that they hit because they're Black. So there's still loans that they cannot get because they're Black.
True.
You know, there's Black people. There's a Black person that I know that he couldn't buy downtown Stockton. He was trying to buy the theater, and when it boiled down to it, it was over racism that he couldn't buy it. So when we're talking about how it affects us now, if we don't even have enough money to have capitalism. So meaning that we, you know, like why we only have a few Black-owned banks.
Right.
So when we're talking about Black wealth, we can individually get good jobs and go to college and all that, but then we're in debt. When you go to college, now you paying for years on, you know what I'm saying, your degree. So versus, you know, outside of Black people, white people who have more money, their families just pay that money off.
The signs
So
just don't say white only anymore. They just write them into policies. That's the only difference. The signs aren't up that just say white only anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just not in your face anymore, but they're written into policies. They're written into our daily living. You know, and yes, I full-heartedly agree that everybody should, you know what I'm saying, do their best and strive to do their best. Absolutely. So, Shaw, I don't want you to feel as any way that I'm trying to attack or disagree with you in that aspect at all.
I don't.
Yeah, I just know that when we're talking about this gap, there are more obstacles for primarily Black people in this country than any other ethnicity to progress, and that's
Mhm.
just it's factual.
It is.
And
But
white people are not the enemy. White people are not the enemy. When people talk about the enemy,
Right,
we're talking
right.
about the system of America.
this system may
Even
have
how
been
all
created
of
by
our Supreme Court judges are white and Republican.
Yeah.
The reason why we're supposed to have a balance in like our Congress and things like that, because we need people that are going to be able to relate to Black and brown people so that they're not looking at us like we're less than. So they give us harsher sentences and they give us harsher laws or laws that work against us.
for
You
the
know what I
same
mean? So
crime.
it's not like saying, oh, sorry, go ahead, 50.
No, you're good. I was just chiming in like on the same crimes. You know, we get harsher sentences for the same crimes. Fucking 5 grams back in the day of marijuana. You know, if you Black versus being white or someone else privileged, it's a completely different sentence. You know, it didn't matter. Coke, crack, fucking weed, whatever it was. Black person get caught with it, they get thrown under the bus. Anybody else? Hey.
And no, and I don't feel like we should use that as a crutch. I definitely don't. I don't believe in crutches. I don't believe, you know, saying we should walk into it. Oh, I'm Black, so woe is me. I'm not saying that either.
No,
But
Right.
I don't
I am saying that we
guys,
have to identify that it's there.
I don't
Mhm.
You know what
think
I'm saying?
you guys at all. I don't think you guys were saying it at all. I don't think it's using a crutch. It's I think acknowledging it and just people have been getting by for so long. I mean, our own we've been getting by for so long by doing other things as far as doing crooked shit or doing shit that we're not supposed to do just to sit here and get by, having
Yeah.
getting through for the job, or you have to talk to so and so, or now there's a lot of things that we've been doing that's just coping with, but it's been troublesome. It's always been like that. You see it. You know, I don't want to go
Yeah,
into.
definitely.
I don't know.
Real
So I'm
quick,
gonna wrap up.
earlier,
Okay.
real quick. Earlier, what I was talking about, Quincy gave me the term for it. It's called Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
That's
Stockholm
what I was
syndrome.
trying to get out. Yeah. Well, go ahead. My bad.
So I was gonna do a video, but I'm gonna wrap it up because we're coming into the 1.5 hour mark. But I wanted to just end it on asking each one of you: do you have the capacity to be misunderstood? And when I say misunderstood, that's in life, decisions that you're making, friendships. Like, do you have the capacity to go after what you want and live a life that you believe in and be misunderstood?
Hell yeah.
Let's go 50. You go first.
I live life like that, period, point blank. You either understand me or you don't. That's not my concern for you to understand me. They say, what that old saying go? Chaos is relevant to its creator. You know, the things that look strange to others make sense to the creator. You know, it's not everybody's business to know the way the cogs move and the gears turn and everything, all the ins and outs. It's not everybody's position to know that. And I feel like when people know too much of how your operations run, they can interfere with it and fuck up what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So to be misunderstood is probably sometimes the best fucking thing, because then can't nobody interfere with you. You know, in our community, you already know. We run a Real Blunt podcast, real Black love and unity. We're real big. Me and my wife real big on Black love, supporting Black businesses, no matter how big or small. But I don't. I don't ever forget the fact that we came from some bullshit. And although I am successful, I had to overcome a lot of fucking hurdles. I had to jump through hoops. I had to take a lot of slack. I had to deal with a lot of bullshit. I'm a retired Black man. I don't know any other retired Black man my age. You know what I'm saying? I am like the only one in my realm that actually has a fucking retirement. That was something that I saw my grandfather do, and his father do, and it seemed like the generation after that, my aunts, my uncles, didn't get that notion of retirement. They were caught up in the 80s and the drug rush and the dope boy era and all of all of that shit going on. I think it's not necessarily about using all that bullshit in the past as a scapegoat again. It's just recognizing it. Hey, I know what happened. I know this system is not for me. I have to work 10 times harder. I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not going to sit around and just use this as an excuse to be basically a piece of shit. Oh, woe me. Oh, woe the system, this and woe that. You know what? I know it exists. I know why it exists. And I know where I stand in this motherfucker. That's the reason I like to acknowledge it, is because they cannot stand in my face and act as a friend to me, because I know the truth. I know the history. I know where I come from. I know why I'm in this position. It's because of the system. And if you're forced to agree with this system, then you're not my friend. You're not. Because anybody that understands the system, no, this system ain't for nobody.
No, don't do it.
Money. It's for money, business, period, point blank.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. That is exactly what it is.
But I don't care to be honest. I love it.
You don't care to be misunderstood. Let them misunderstand you.
Misunderstand.
Desire, what about you?
I stopped caring. I'm good with somebody said for real. Is that bad? No, just because I mean, in my soul, in my spirit, I've always cared for a long time of what people had cared about me for a very long time. And I'm always a very people pleaser. And as I got older and just I move a lot, I move quick, but I'm silent. And when I speak, I want to speak, and I like to hear hear other people's opinions, because I think a lot differently than what a lot of other people think. I actually can understand people, and it's my choice to sit there and to make them feel like they're misunderstood, which is that's how they're raised. I think it's beautiful to sit here and see other people's perceptions. But for me, if people misunderstand me, especially because how friendly I am, I'm fine with that. So I'm like, with him, it's okay, because I spend too much energy just trying to sit here and trying to understand why they don't understand me, and it can be overexertive, and it's like, okay. It's okay, so I'm good. So yeah.
Okay. So you learn not to care.
Yeah.
And to whether they misunderstand you or not, keep it moving.
Yeah, it's stomaching, because people can really, I mean, it's crazy. You can move your whole mindset just based off the fact that somebody had an attitude with you because you forgot to open up the door when you drove them to the store. And then it's like, well, hold on. You could have just let me know. You could have just let me know. Now now I don't talk to you for months. It's like, no, let me know. I want to know, people, so.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, Mrs. Thompson. What
Oh
about
shit,
you? How
that's
do you
me.
feel about
Would you call it?
how do you feel about whether people misunderstand you or not?
In a certain aspect, it bothers me only because I feel as though the world is becoming segregated and people are becoming more selfish and more selfish. It's like Facebook this, me this. Everybody wants stuff for them. And in the Bible, God, when he was trying to teach the lesson, one of the ultimate lessons, he confused everybody by creating different languages. So I feel like we as a people should try to understand. And if you don't understand me, I would like for somebody to understand me, because it's the basis of communication. When we lose communication, we lose everything. So on a certain aspect, I'm okay with being misunderstood. Like if God gave me a purpose and you don't understand it, fine, I'll love to explain it to you. But when it comes to my everyday life, I like to be understood, because I want to make sure I have a level of communication, because that is the sole purpose of people, period. How do I get you to follow me to follow God if you don't understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't like to be misunderstood. I like to very much be understood. So when I say leave me the fuck alone, I clearly mean leave me the fuck alone. There's no misunderstanding. We on the same page. But when I say I love you, I want you to understand that I love you. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. So I don't like to be misunderstood at all.
Okay, I can respect that.
I could dig that.
Cliff, on you.
I really don't care if people don't understand me unless you're getting in the way of my growth or where I'm trying to go. Right? If your misunderstanding of me is hindering what I'm trying to do in some way, shape, or form, then yeah, we gotta mesh this out. You gotta feel where I'm coming
There's
from.
gotta be some
You feel me?
comprehension.
But like, but I mean, just on a everyday basis, hey, I'm misunderstood a lot. I'm misunderstood a lot. I'm a very logical person, right? I try not to let emotions affect a lot of way of my thinking, and sometimes that comes off to people as being brash or being rude or just what I'm saying. But it's
Yeah.
it's my girl in the background. Yeah.
No, I
But
feel it.
but you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's not hindering, like, and I'm an Aquarius, so hey, we're definitely misunderstood. But again, if it's not hindering my growth, or if you're not affecting my family or something like that, if we just having a conversation and I'm trying to relay how I feel to you, and I see that I can't get it, I can't get you to see it, or we can't have this conversation, and if we walk away with you misunderstanding, then so be it. Hopefully somebody else comes along and proves my point.
And gives
Right?
you more clarity.
I mean,
It doesn't prove your point.
and then you'd be like, oh,
Look,
that's what that
people
nigga
don't
was talking
understand
about.
what you're saying.
And
Look, those you
it
bitch,
feels
that's
that
somebody
way
like
based off of just experiences of people switching up on you. Like, I don't know. I think sometimes misunderstanding, I don't know, because sometimes friendships have dissolved because the fact that you have been focused on yourself and people are misunderstanding us, to where it's like, I'm trying to show you I have to do this because it keeps me focused. I have to do this because what you're normally doing is different than what you're doing now. So that's how I took it as misunderstanding. I don't know if anybody took it that way, because it's just I'm in a period of my life where a lot of people are misunderstanding me because I'm not moving the way I used to. But I've bettered myself, and I've made myself a better person. So it just makes me feel like, if I've been trying to tell I can't make it to all the events all the time. I can't spend the night. You can't spend the night at friends' house all the time because you have a family. You have things that are going on, and because that they're moving in a certain direction. Sometimes misunderstanding has to do with change. Does that make sense?
No, perfect
yeah,
sense.
yeah, definitely.
So
For me, I was a people pleaser for so long. I wanted to, like, for people to understand where I'm coming from. Huh? What you say, Sean? Can you guys hear me?
yeah.
I was a people pleaser for so long, but I will be 39 this year, and so coming into my late 30s,
Go
going
on, lady.
into like 40,
You don't even look
like
39. Girl, you look like you still 28. Get out of town. Hold up. Sorry.
Wait a minute. Talisha, I'm older than you. My brother's nasty.
What?
So you big this,
Right.
so,
I'm
but
weak.
I always say that I have my moments, like since I was a teenager, where I have these years where I evolve. I have epiphanies, and I'll be like, you know what, I want to be better in this. I want to do better in that. But what I learned in my late 30s is stop people pleasing. Say what you're gonna say, and if people feel a way about it, then either they can come and talk to you about it, or they're just going to feel the way that they're going to feel.
He said,
I move in a way. I move in a way to where I'm respectful. It might, like I would say in this era of my life. Before, I might have moved in a way where how I came off might have been brash. So now I pick how I say things carefully to people that I care about. You know what I mean? And so I move in a way to where I know that people may not always remember what you do or say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
yeah.
And that's Maya Angelou. And
like
so I think about the woman that I want to be. I think about how I want to be remembered. I think about the impact that I want to make on everyday people. People think about having platforms, and platforms are good. Don't get me wrong, but people make the most impact, and the heroes with don't always wear capes. Like they're everyday people that just touch lives. They help them from being there, even if you were standing in the line and somebody's having a conversation with you, you just said something encouraging. You know what I mean? Or they said something and you just kind of gave them some type of something prolific, then they'll take that with them for the rest of their lives. So for me, I don't care whether I'm misunderstood or not, because how I live my life is in a genuine way. And I'm such an open book, you can always come talk to me. And if you can't come talk to me, it's just gonna have to be what it is. And I'm gonna
that
have to be okay with that. And you're gonna have to be okay with that. You know what I mean?
that's
We
that
can't
evil
change
spirit,
our lives. Yeah, because people, they hear things and read things through their rose-colored glasses,
bro.
through their triggers,
That right there.
through things they've been through. So you may be saying something and it has nothing to do with like whatever their trigger is, but it's triggering to them anyways for whatever reason. So you can't control other people. You can give it out, but you can't control how they receive it. So if you can't receive me and all that I am, I'm quirky. Sometimes I'm deep. Sometimes I'm funny. Sometimes I'm silly. Sometimes I make mistakes and I say stupid stuff. If you can't accept me in my whole, the only person that I'm worried about really understanding me is my husband. And that's because we got to do life together.
Right,
Even
right.
my kids, they're not gonna always understand me. I'm not gonna always understand them. They growing and they're
They
becoming
don't
who
understand
they're
why they're in
becoming.
the corner right now. Because they don't understand why they're in the corner right now. It's a real
For real.
misunderstanding.
I know you don't understand why I just had to put you on punishment and take everything out your room, and now you sleeping on a mattress.
All
But
right.
when you get older, you'll understand. So, did anybody want to leave us with anything before I give us the music and we all head out of here?
Um, I think the misunderstanding, like to piggyback on what you were saying, like being a people pleaser. If you're a people pleaser, like for me, I'm a people pleaser. I always like doing for people. So one like me, when I mentioned earlier, I always went to school with money in my pocket. I didn't just go to flaunt. I was buying all my friends lunch and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've
Yeah,
always done for those people around me because I've always had access. I like doing for people. And in doing for a lot of people, there comes a lot of misunderstandings. And people don't understand why
yeah,
you are the way you are or try to take advantage of
yep,
you or this, that, and the third. I had to stop giving a fuck what other people thought or even if caring if they understood me or not, because it started to affect the way I like to give to people. You know what I'm saying? It started to affect how I treated the people around me. I love giving to my
yeah,
people. I love making sure they taken care of. The fuck it, let's take a road trip or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But if I kept worrying about, oh, why somebody's mad because I didn't do for them like I did for somebody else or this, that, or the third, I would have stopped doing for everybody. I had to stop caring, if people didn't understand this, that, or the third. It was like, you know what? I'm happy living my life the way I'm living my life, and I'm gonna do who I want to do for, how I want to do for them, and I'm gonna be me. Fuck what everybody else thinking. You don't understand it. I'm not here to fucking disclose it or clear it up for you. Damn it, you just gonna have to live with that. Go to sleep mad or whatever. I'm going to sleep happy. I'm gonna do me. Just do y'all. Damn it.
yeah, exactly. I 1,000% agree. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank Chris for coming on here as well. I want to thank everybody that came through on Facebook and YouTube. With doing the Queens AF, and I'm rocking it by myself. I'm trying to find my lane. And so I appreciate the panels. I appreciate everybody coming through. And first of all, I'm so proud of myself on the people that I know, because y'all dope and you guys are so intelligent. And I love intelligence. I always say I'm a sapio sexual. I love intelligence. I love, even if we don't always agree, because if we always agree, it's an issue. You should be able to enlighten me. I should be able to enlighten you, even if it's not something I'm used to. So I always invite that. I feel like that's how we all grow. So thank you to y'all. Y'all are super dope. I'm about to play a song by me and Quincy that's coming out on the 209 We Trust. It's called Y'all Know. Yeah, and this is my first little debut song. I have others, but this was my first one.
Shout out to everybody on the panel. Again, sorry I was late. My bad. It was great.
You good. You came with it. You brought us something.
You know, I tried.
Thank you.
You guys have a great night, a beautiful night.
Hey.
Queen shit, I'm built for this. Assassin hunt, I never miss. I'm a winner, man, never losing it. Bossy chick, yeah, I'm running shit. Y'all can't walk in my shoes. BB King, I give him the blues. Inspiring others, I'm amused. Got more haters than a few. I'm in a different place with a different view of a hoe's heads like an overview. I'm a deep waters, nigga, shallow how. Might smile at you, but you ain't my pal. Kareem Abdul, niggas love to foul. I'm piping hot, they don't want the tea. Yo, life sucks and I don't compete. Not a pick me, but he picked me. Hey. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. That's made like me.
You don't know now, nigga. 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 That's made like me.
Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. That's made like me.
You don't know now, nigga. 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 That's made like me. I beat the princess of Munda, the king of Wakanda. My buzz is way bigger than bucks from down under. I'm out here big eating while you sleeping slender. Addition and multiply, yes, I do numbers. I cop it right now while wait for the summer. That type of shit make you sit and you wonder. You keep it 100, but ain't got no hundreds. Leaders of replicas faking and fronting. Nope, ain't nobody laughing, I ain't telling no jokes. Dreams fading fast and you're losing all hope. Want the truth, then motherfucker, here it go. Money so big, probably want me touching my toes. Niggas is fake like a $4 steak. Came for the beef, but you leave on the plate. So it's your hand that I'm never gonna shake. From the gate, knew you was faulty, no fake.
Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. That's made like me.
You don't know now, nigga. 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 That's made like me.
Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. Y'all know now, bitch. That's made like me.
You don't know now, nigga. 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 That's made like me.
Teresa, I just want to know what your face looked like when you were saying now that. Like, was it now that? Like, what?
What you eating over there? What you got in that bowl?
I was doing the thin face, like, you don't know now, man.
Hungry and shit. Over there making food and shit, like.
Oh man, yes. I hope you're proud of me, Sean.
I am.
Do your thing, girl.
Do your thing, huh?
So Sean used to rap as well. She used to do battle raps. She was traveling around the U.S. and battling.
Matter of fact, I might need a place to stay because I was supposed to be down here eating dinner, and my husband upset.
Look.
Hilarious. Just show him that he'll be good.
Y'all take it easy.
No, look.